open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you. So make it last forever. Stop in time. Yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you. So
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another live stream. Today, I am deciding to do less talking and more chilling, so I'll pop into the chat here and there, but you won't hear me talking much. But today we are going to be going from Istanbul to Skiathos, and we have lovely freeware scenery here at Istanbul. We also have payware Orbix scenery at Skiathos, which we'll be flying to. Unfortunately not a first look, but it is some pretty nice scenery nevertheless. So yeah, it's very rainy here in Istanbul today. Yeah, we're flying offline today. Of course, that's nothing new for live streams, but if you didn't already know, I have been on VATSIM recently. I started out. Uh, I'm not going on today simply because Cross the Pond is going on, and well, I don't think I should go into busy events, so I'm just going to not take the risk and play offline. So we've got FSLTL traffic for the AI traffic today, offline traffic injection. It's completely free, performance heavy, but if you have frame generation on, it's just not noticeable. Of course, I have a 4070 Ti, 7800 XCD, which you can find in any of my videos descriptions. Not live streams, unfortunately. I could do that, but I just tend not to. But if you do want me to do that, I will. But I just don't really see much point in it in live streams. But that's up to you. So yeah, I'm going to be quiet as I said. So if anyone wants to talk, if you want to say hello, I'll say hello back. Anything in chat I'll respond to, but I won't be talking very much. So yeah, hope you all enjoy. If anyone's actually watching, I bet there's no one watching right now, but maybe you're watching it as a video later when it's posted. But you know, and either way, let's get started. And I'll see you when someone comes into the chat. Thanks. Hello Ace, how are you doing? Nice to see you. That's good to hear. I'm doing very well. I just came on flight sim to do a flight to Greece from Turkey, a Turkish Airlines flight today. Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, it's a shame that it's raining outside. But yeah, it's a very nice plane. one of my favourites. A lot of manual controls, so it's actually fun to use. But yeah, it's very nice. Oh, I see. It's cool then. A good old American school bus or so. Well, I haven't seen it. I just assume it's American. Uh, um, whether what's the queue? So got 51 on the temp. 51 and we are a normal takeoff rating. V1 141, V rotate 143, V2 worst case scenario 147, and we are 147,000 kilos, or pounds I should say, not kilos. Used to it in kilos. Right. So I'm happy with that. Do flaps 5, get the trim in there. What you get in is 4.67, get that set. 5, 6, 7, that will do. V1, V rotate, V2, that's all good. Flight level 380, 360, so I'll have to change that out. 360. Yeah, just check there's no discontinuities. I should get some dome light on just so I can see it a bit better in here. So it's very wet and it'll be an interesting takeoff today out of Istanbul. Very interesting. We'll do a landing dispatch. We're landing on runway 19. Packs will be on. We'll get the weather in. So that is normal stuff. Don't tend to take much note of that stuff. So transition altitude today is 12,000 feet. When we can turn to standard air pressure. Speaking of air pressure, we need to know what the air pressure in Istanbul is. So it's 29.59. So 29.59. Just decrease that to 59. Winds 330, gusting 38 knots. Quite a high wind, but it is a storm right now. And apparently it's 11 degrees right now. And the rain is 10 degrees, as it were. So that's interesting. Well, a very warm storm then, for how things are. So we'll have a look at the charts for taxi, airport, taxi routes for 3-5 left, 2 Delta. We'll just zoom in. So this is our aircraft here. So yeah, we're at stand Bravo 10 or B10 if you want to be simple. So we haven't got too far. We're going to 3-5 left here. So not too much of a taxi, but yeah. So we'll see what we can do. Since we're offline, we can just choose the taxi route. Don't have to wait for air traffic control to give us one. So I think what I'll do is I will try and find where we can get some taxi info. It's got a confusing airport. Let's have a look. Taxi routes. It's not much good here. Let's have a look. I suppose the airport's going to be the best one. I'm just going to double check this with the full fat charts. So if we're at B10, we want to get to 3-5 left. B10, somewhere around here. So if that's Tango 3, so that's Tango 3 there. 10, yeah, so B. It's not very good, is it? Well, I'll just use the full fat charts for the taxi, which you can't see, but I'm looking at them, so yeah. I mean, you can sort of see them, but they're very confusing on this one. So yeah. Anyways, we'll just get the departure charts up on the tablet then. So we're the part for Delta, so that's the one that we want. As you can see, transition is 12,000 up the top there. Very hard to see, but nah, it might be a bit easy to see there. Transition of 12,000. Those don't matter because we're offline. We're this one, the BARP for Delta. Runway heading 355 degrees. Yeah. So we can't go past 240 knots until we reach past 1,750 feet. Standard. And yeah. So I think we can get the ground off, and we can get the APU started up. We'll get the APU to start, and we'll get seatbelts on. Give them a ding. So FS actions, ground services, release jetway, fuel truck release, release all of the baggage. We can just ignore that I didn't load it, but it'll be loaded when we get off, because that's how the game works. You don't actually have to load it, so it's fine. Yeah. I'll just double check the routing real quick. So go to plan. We'll just put the yoke down there for a minute. We'll go to legs, step, 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 step. Yeah, it gets a bit untidy when we get into Thessaloniki. That's fine. We can sort that out en route. I've had that before, and we did fine. So I'm just going to leave it. Get that back to the normal position. We'll leave it on the legs page. We'll get our V speeds inputted in. I'll just double check what they were. V1 141, so we'll put 141 in the speed dial here. 141, runway heading was 355, so we'll put that in there. 355. Transition altitude was 12,000, so we'll input that into there. And yeah, flight directors can come to the on position. The APU is ready to start, so we'll get the APU started up. Ground power can be released, off, and we can release the unit like so. Ground power release, and there we go. Right. Just have our departure charts up there. And we'll pin it for so we don't lose it. Yeah. I think we'll get a taxi routes to runway 35 pinned as well, just in case we desire them. Pinned. Zoom in there. Zoom in some more. That'll do. Right. We've got the APU on. Let's see. Probe heats. Window heats. Those should all light up green now. Should have 4 greens checked. Hydraulics can come on. APU bleed can come on. Lights can come on. Cruising altitude can come on. 36,000 feet. Or flight level 360. And the airport altitude for Skiathos is going to be 104, so we can just put that to 100. That'll do. And yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll get the push and start ready. Push back, select tug. Which way are we going to face? We're going to face facing. Yeah, so we want to have the tail to our right. Nose doesn't want to be right. Nose wants to be left. I suppose we'll see how 90 degrees goes. I don't really know. Because it's pretty bad pushback technology. You're better off with GSX, but haven't got that. Costs money. Well, this costs money, but you know. You know. Anyways.
We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our right. Copy that. Ready for push tail right. Police break, please.
Oh, wait a minute. Tail wants. Oh, God.
Brakes released.
The tail wants to be to our left, thank you very much. I was thinking that was tail and not nose. Let's go. Again.
Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail
Brakes off.
Brakes released.
There we go. You can come back up. Should get off in a minute. Seatbelt signs are on. No smokes are on.
Here we go.
So it's ready. So we'll get engine 1 fired up. Put that to the ground position. We should see some things happen here. See the start valve is open. See N1's rising up here. Once it gets to around 2.8 or above, we can start putting fuel into the first engine, which is our left engine. So getting to 2.8 now, we can stick the fuel in now. That'll spule up. It's a very wet ground, but it does look very nice. I mean, look at the textures, the reflections there. Very nice. Yeah, well, we're definitely not on the taxi line, but at the end of the day, it's not the worst. I can always realign myself when I get moving. Yeah, so that's engine 1 fired up, and that's our sign that we can start engine 2. So see start valve open, eventually N2 will rise. That's our right engine. See it's rising there. Again, 2.8 or above. Start putting fuel into the tank. And our taxiway is Tango 3, which we are meant to be lining up on. And we'll taxi from there onwards to 35 left runway. We can start putting fuel into the right engine.
Brake set.
Brake set.
Brake set.
Hear those engines spooling up there very nicely. Turkish Airlines, and also this scenery is free if anyone wants to know. It's none of that payware stuff. It is free. Flightsim.to. We can get fuel pumps on. Oh, there's another Turkish there. A321, I think. So yeah, taxi lights can come on. We'll see what else we need to put on. Yeah, attendance there. Yaw damper on. Packs can come to auto, so we can get fresh air into the cabin, so the passengers can breathe. Lights are all on. So yeah, I mean, pretty good for now. Flaps want to be at number 5 position. So 1, 2, 3, and they're at 5. Chocks are released as standard. Menu, FMC, legs page. Double check our routing is all inputted there. Barp 4 Delta to Barp 4 Echo. Barp Echo even. UG12 to Goldo, UM603 to TSL, which is the Thessaloniki VOR. Then Thessaloniki 1 Charlie to Skopilos, direct to FQ19, which then brings us to the NDM19 approach into runway 19, and then missed approach will head back to Skopilos and do a hold from Skopilos. Right, legs page initiated. Auto brake can be set to RTO, and we'll get our taxi routing inputted now. So we're going to get the dome light off. Now we are out. I suppose we should get some lighting on Get some main panel brightness on, the upper DU, the background brightness up a bit, the AFD's floodlights up a bit, to get some nice lighting on. So we're on Tango 3 taxiway right now. We're going to head from Tango 3 to the November Whiskey taxiway. From November Whiskey, we are... wait a minute. From November Whiskey, we're going to be heading onto Charlie. From the Charlie taxiway, we're going to head to Bravo 1 Bravo to 35 left. Sorry you cannot see these charts. Just the Istanbul is very confusing, and if you go from there it wouldn't be very easy to understand. So I'm using the full fat desktop version of charts for the taxi, but that is a more confusing but in sim compatible version of the taxi charts for you. So taxi lights are on, lights are all on, block time can come on, and we can get taxiing. Right, parking brakes released, get some engine on to get moving. Wait for that Turkish to head by, and we'll follow behind the ongoing Turkish 737. In the rain, as you can probably notice. Right, engines can be set to continuous, that's all good. So of course we're heading on Tango 3 taxiway, heading on to the November Whiskey, which is NW, as you might be able to see, though it is quite small on your screen, I'll admit, but you know, as long as I can see it, I'm sure it's fine. It's very smooth here, because I do have DLSS 3 enabled to give me that boost in frame rate. We're playing at 1440p, 60 FPS, high settings, ultra clouds, and yeah, it looks pretty freaking awesome. Then on to November Whiskey, then on to Charlie. A bit confused as to where the taxiway is now, but yeah, we're not on VATSIM, we're not online, so can't get banned. Just do what we like. Anyways, here's the taxi line. You couldn't notice before. Get some wipers on whilst we're on the ground. Get some of that rain off. Use some rudder to navigate the taxiways. And head to 35 left. As you see here, we're on the November Whiskey taxiway. And we're heading all the way to 35 left. From November Whiskey onto Charlie. Then from Charlie onto Bravo 1 Bravo. And then onto 35 left, which is this runway right here. It's about an hour's flight time today, so I do admit you might not be able to stay for all of it, but I appreciate everyone that's tuned in so far to watch me fly some planes in horrible weather. I do hope the audio is all good as well. Haven't streamed in a while, so I wouldn't know. But no one's complained, so I'm gonna assume it's okay, or you just don't really care. which is fair enough, you know. Right to the end is Charlie. We'll speed up the taxi a bit, get a bit of throttles on. It's the very end taxiway, which is Charlie. So we just kind of keep going till there's a dead end. A lot of Turkish Airlines round here. Of course it is Istanbul, capital of Turkey. So that's what you'd expect. So we're heading up onto Charlie in a moment. See, there's the... oh no, it isn't. It's just more parked aircraft. Thought it was the 737 that we were following earlier. But it wasn't. As you can see here, there's some grass. So this is the dead end. This is taxiway Charlie, as seen from that yellow stand there, as we quickly went by. So we're going to follow this taxi line into Charlie. And get some throttle on, because we are slowing down. See there, Charlie 5 Alpha. So this is the Charlie taxiway. We just head right down here till we hit another dead end, and then we just turn right to the runways. First one will be 35 right, which is not the one we're taking off from. Second one will be 35 left, which is the one we're taking off from. You see the gates there, lots of Turkish there, which you might not be able to see very well because it's raining, but nevertheless. There's another one there, looks like a big plane, maybe an A330, something like that. See there, on Charlie taxiway, taxiing down. Air pressure Istanbul 29.59 hectopascals. So yeah, and that'll be concurrent to 35,000 feet. No, 12,000 feet, not 35,000. Bit high to get to standard air pressure, but you know. See, we've got not long till we hit the right turn to the end of the runways of 35 right and 35 left. Taking off 35 left. Next turning, there's another plane there. 787? I think it's a 787. Another Turkish, of course. Love to see it. Here's 35 right. This is 35 right, holding point of Charlie 1 Alpha. But since we're not holding here, because we are not on to the Charlie taxiway, the 35 right taxiway, I mean, 35 right runway, apologies, we don't need to hold here, because we're flying offline. It's an awfully hard to steer aircraft right now. Nevertheless, so that 35 right there, where the ongoing A330 is lining up to take off from. 737's already up in the air by the looks of it, because he's not there anymore. Yeah. Yeah, it's Terence is at the football today, so yeah, he cancelled. Yeah, I mean, it was only F1, so it wasn't going to be very viewed anyway, so I suppose it could have been worse. His plans changed. So this is 35 left on the Bravo 1 Alpha 1. Hold point which we're not going to hold at because there's no aircraft on the runway, so we're just going to go straight onto the runway and out. I'm honestly not sure what the heck his football teams are playing, but I assume it's something to do with Bolton Wanderers, but I honestly have no idea. But I would assume it would be Bolton Wanderers, because that's the only real ones he sees. So runway turn-offs can come on, landing lights can come on, ready for takeoff. Engines can be our primary source of power now, so we'll get those on. APU can come off. APU bleed can come off. And this is 35 left, where we're going to take off today. So let's get on our way to Ski Athos. So runway 35 left, 355 set. Auto throttle can be on. Auto brake RTO, been taxiing for 9 minutes. That's all good. So we're going to get the standard instruments. Departure, which we pinned, ready for departure. So we can't get past 240 knots till we reach 1,750 feet, as said by the charts. So let's get taken off. So 40%. And Toga. Let's go, let's get going. Look at that windsock. Look at that windsock. Blowing it away. Blowing it away. Absolutely blowing it away. Rotate. Bit of crosswind. Landing gear can come up. Just following our flight directors up in the air through this cloud. And get the wipers off now. Engine's still on continuous. Let's get climbing. Maybe a bit of steep descent, climb even. Descent. Not there yet. Landing gear can come off. Auto brake can come off. And we can just climb up to 12,000 feet. See, we're coming up to light cloud. Right there. CMD1 can come on. VNav can control our speeds. Let's have a look out the window. Look at that wing. Look at that wing. Wibbling away. Look at that. Look at that wing though. Look at that. Very windy today at Istanbul. Very windy. So we're coming up to our turn. Flaps can come retracted. Flaps are retracted. Starting our turn. Round. You can see there, see the sea down below us, see the sea down there, a lot of wing flex going on with the aircraft, with the winds, but nevertheless we safely took off out of Istanbul and now are on our way to Ski Athos, where we'll terminate this service of Turkish Airlines. 737-800 Boeing 738, however you want to call it. That was a great takeoff. .250 knots. There we are in the charts, making our way. Then we'll head down there, and yeah. So we're currently in the Istanbul airspace, as shown by the red circle there. And we're going to head out of that once we head to this waypoint here of Bibam. And that's when we're out of Turkish Istanbul airspace, and we're on our way to regular airspace. Speed now restricted to 325 knots. Coming up to 12,000 feet, which is our transition altitude today, Istanbul. See the land down there, Greenland, as we head over the sea and down. Very windy though, you've got to admit it's very windy in Istanbul today. Very windy. We follow our flight directors to Skiathos. Speed's coming up. Flaps retracted. Right. Landing lights can come off. Runway turnoffs can come off. Taxi lights can come off. Engines can come to off. Well, engine starters, not engines. That would be disastrous if they were off. Starting a bit of a right turn here. So now heading up to 12,000 feet, we can increase our altitude to our cruising altitude of 36,000 feet, flight level 360, which is where we'll climb and tilt up a descent, where we'll descend down to Skiathos. And yeah, let's get that up. 35, 36, there we go. Altitude intervene as we head up to 36,000 feet. Standard air pressure as we reach past our transition altitude and up to the cruising altitude. Flight level 360, 36,000 feet. LNAV, VNAV for the speeds and the rate of climb. All good. Seatbelt signs can come off. Attendance can be a ding. And yeah. So that was the takeoff out of Istanbul. A very nice one there today. A very cloudy departure today, as we climb through the clouds of Turkish airspace. I am a UK citizen myself. And welcome in from Bangladesh. It's nice to have people from different areas of the world tune in. Hope you're doing well. Well, I mean, I'm not a very big person for YouTube, you know. I'm not consistent, so I don't really have really much of a fan base. But I do it for the fun. Yeah, I mean, it's the best way to do YouTube, because at the end of the day, if you do it for the fun, you'll enjoy doing it. Therefore, you might actually get big, because you'll not think it's like a chore in a way. So it's just the best way to do it, really. It's no problems. At the end of the day, you tuned in, so I'd like to thank you for that. And have a nice rest of your day, evening, night, whatever time it may be for you. and thanks for tuning in. See you next time or whenever. Yeah. It's certainly not nice up here, like, it looks nice up here, and when you go down there, it's just like a bloody snowstorm, a rainstorm, not a snowstorm. You know, it's not far off a snowstorm. It's very dull. I think that tidies up the flight plan. So before it had a bit of a swiggles, and for some reason it wants to go to this Scopulos VOR, but it doesn't really make much sense when the runway's like there. Like, it doesn't like really line up. I'm just seeing if I can tidy up the flight plan even more, making it a bit more accurate. It looks like the Avico 1 Charlie arrival could work, because of course that's the runway, that's 19, so this side of the runway. So at the same time, it's going to that Scopulos VOR, so I don't think it is actually going to work. Now, go to the plan mode, legs, in fact it might, is it working? I think it might actually be right, this, you know. If you see, it circles us around, so so it gives us like a bit more of a precision approach, so that we can like get an accurate look. Instead of just going directly into the runway, we can just sort of curve round and have a bit of a glide slope into the runway. So I think that's more accurate to the one we had before. Yeah, I mean, if that's going to work, I'm happy to keep it. Yeah. Not too sure why SimBrief was telling me lies, but you know, sometimes you've got to troubleshoot, which is why you need to know how to fly a plane. Yeah. Don't always trust your flight plans, that is the lesson to be learned. Always double check them. Check for errors. Yeah. It seems as if we have some nice weather in Greece, because it doesn't look very stormy down there. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of better for us. You don't really think of Greece, I mean, especially at this sort of time of year. it's more of the summer months now coming up. Nearly in May now, so I'd expect hot weather in Greece. I'd expect it in Turkey, to be honest, but you don't always get that, do you? Clearly, there's always going to be storms somewhere due to all that weather. I can just be grateful that I think we'll have some nice sunny views into Greece today. Yeah. Just gonna double check. Yeah, see, our top of descent is just along the straight line we're heading on right now. It's not too far away. We've got a few waypoints before we hit that. So I suppose we should start just taking a look, departure at the arrival charts. So we're all prepared for a nice arrival into Skiathos. So I can't see an obvious transition altitude here, but 6,000 looks promising. 3,500 looks a bit too low. 6,000 sounds about right. So I'll take it that it's 6,000. But of course it's not obvious. Because we have no ATC today, because I'm flying offline, we don't have our transition level. So I'm going to say transition level is going to be 7,000 feet. That's a complete estimate. You take the transition altitude and add 1,000 onto that to get your transition level, as that is almost always given by ATC. And if you're offline, there's no way of getting that. So you've got to do estimates, and also when you're on Unicom, of course, and that's in, you'll of course do the estimates then as well. But yeah. So what is the runway heading today? So we are landing into runway 19 today. Just take a look at Skiathos. Going to change. Just changing my arrival procedure on Navigraph, which you can't see. So we are on the Evik 1 Charlie. So we'll add that one to the root. Right. That'll do. Let's check. Yeah, top of descents. Not close, but not too far away. So we'll zoom in a bit here. What's the runways there? It's runway 19 with going on, so you'd think it's like 190 or something similar. But it's not always right, especially at one that's not an ILS. It is a, well, it's more of a, it's not really, I mean, but it's more of a VOR-ish approach. But I'm not really too sure what approach it actually is, to be completely honest with you. But it's not an ILS. It's like a VDM, DME approach. It's one of those. Yeah, it will be. It'll be about 190 because that's 180 there. That's not quite lined up. Sure, another 10 degrees will make it about 190. Yeah, it's always nice to have your charts with you, so you can make amendments more accurately and double check things nicely, so you don't mess things up. Anyways, the approach, runway 19. Oh, maybe this is why I didn't know a transition. It's a VOR approach. There you are. VOR. It's on the wrong bloody thing. Apologies. There's runway 19. 194 degrees. Wasn't far off. I told you it'd be around 190. So missed approach, climb on 194 degrees, 2,500 feet, then turn left, maximum 185 knots, not very fast at all, to VOR, climbing to 4,000 and hold at Skopios, I'd assume, by this arrow turn sequence. So airport elevation 2 hectopascals, transition level caused by ADC, transition altitude 4,000 feet. So that is our transition altitude. Wasn't far off, 2,000 off. But again, that's why you need the charts. Double check. And yeah. So normally it's just a straight in landing to runway 19, which is more obvious when it's a not an ILS. It's usually what you sort of do. But it's not an ILS approach. So minimums today, yeah, very high. Yeah, so we'll keep that there for our approach. So we want to set 5,000 feet because transition altitude plus 1,000 gives you your estimated transition level, as I said before. So we'll have to do that for descent, which isn't far off. Next waypoint, well, after the next waypoint actually, we'll be starting our descent down to 5,000 feet initially. suppose there isn't much need for all this light anymore, so we'll turn that off just before I stop a descent. Ready. You don't have to worry about anything much. Oh, don't want to turn that down. Need to see that. Main panel off. Brightness up here. Off. Then off. It's light down in Skiathos, unlike Istanbul. What's going on? IRS fuel. Well, I mean, we've got fuel, so don't really know what you're on about, if I'm honest. Yeah. Got any failures? Menu, FP sale, options, no. Aircraft, failures. There's no failures, so yeah, and we've got fuel, so well, yeah, I mean, there's not really much we can do. So, head down, 5,000 feet as I said, get that set, there, transition level, go to descent, forecast, request winds for our destination, and we'll get down to Skiathos. See, top descent reached. I'm going to start descending now. Engines will spule down a bit. Get drag required, but it's all fine. Can always help it if need be later on. Execute. Clear. And those are our destination winds. As you can see, transition level 5,000 feet, as predicted. And we'll do our performance checks now. Performance, landing en route, 19, elevation, aircraft details, weather, calculate. Probably because we are on some stupid pounds limit. Oh God, it's doing that stupid thing. I'm not sure if this is a bug, but the game hasn't frozen. It's just, it just sort of freezes for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Yeah, see, I can move now. Sometimes happens when I go to this screen for some reason. Yeah, it's weird, but yeah. So what is our weight? Our weight today. Let's have a look in here. Actions, payload. Maybe. No. How do you see your weights in this plane? I'm so used to driving the A320. Well. Yes. No. Where do you find your weights in this plane? I've honestly forgotten. Not gonna lie. See. It must be in the FMC somewhere. Would be useful. Yeah. See, this is the thing with the Phoenix will tell you this. You don't have to, like, you know, have a, you know. Anyways, we'll get a bit nice wing view whilst we turn. I mean, that is just nice, isn't it? We'll get a shot of that. Get a shot of that. Mouse. Wait a minute. Got an interior. Custom interior, guys. Madness. Anyways, back in here, because, well, we need to get down. I think I'd rather do it in kilograms. I'm more used to kilograms. So, 60. Ish. Well, 42 then. That's what it is, 42. 42,264. There we go. Took a bit. Import weather. I'm not really happy with that. But it's a max auto break apart from auto. Can you? Is there a max? Oh, there is a max. We'll do a max then. Do a max auto. So yeah, that's a bit safer. It gives us room. Gives us room to mess. So yeah, flaps 30. Winds 110 at 7 knots. Way less windy than Istanbul. Yeah, 6:13 right now in Greece. Arrival 29.77. But we don't have to put that in once we reach 4,000 feet and below. So we're all good for now. QNH is 1008. Well, that's why you don't use the simple one, because that happens. Anyways, so FMC 30. There we go. Get some nice wing views coming down. Way better weather. Still clouds, but clouds are fine. Deal with clouds. Beautiful. I also am using Thrustmaster peripherals today. No sponsor, of course. Well, I wish. But yeah, I am using Thrustmaster peripherals. Yeah. Anyways, check we aren't what's messing this up. As you see down there, there is our Skiathos coming up. We'll just go double check our flight plan, just so we don't run into any last minute errors, as that would not be very nice. So we're there, coming down. Should zoom in a bit more. Let's see. See there, we're going to coming down, round, and down into runway 19. There's our missed approach procedure. Go down from SKC, round, follow the blue line to Skopilos and hold there. And then from there we can just input our arrival back into Skiathos or wherever we want to divert to from that hold point, which we see suited. At the end of the day, it's about getting down safely. If you can't land at Skiathos, you've just got to divert somewhere nearby from that hold point. I am happy with that routing, so we can head back to normal mode. Also, if anyone does want to see me screw myself up on VATSIM network, which is realistic air traffic control, I will do that at some point on live, but well, it's very hard, it's very stressful, so yeah, I don't know when I'll do that. I mean, believe it or not, there is actually VATSIM ATC live at Greece right now. Shame we're not on VATSIM, but I'm not really confident to do it on a stream yet. Yeah. Look at those views, nice sunset views. It's coming into evening. It is evening. It's just summer, so it doesn't get dark very easily over in Greece. Yeah, nice sunset views in. been flying for an hour and 3 minutes, well 4 minutes, from the taxi to here. I can definitely feel a bit of a crosswind coming into Greece. You see that wing flexing a bit there. Hopefully it'll be a nice, smooth landing. Might be a go around, but it's all part of the fun. It's not an easy airport to come into, but you know, we'll try our best. We'll just take a look at our flap speeds, what speed we should be for each flap rating, down to 30. So flaps 1, 250, flaps 2, 250, flaps 5, 250. 10 goes that down to 210. Flaps 15 goes to 200, 25, 190, 32, 175. 175. So we'll get flaps 5 out so we can reduce the speed now. Since, if you didn't already know, that is Skiathos Island right in front of us. So we're heading down and round. The flaps of course help you with your rate of descent. You see the flaps there. That's flaps 5 setting there. 250 knots there, of course. And get the next set of flaps down as well, to get even more speed down. As we're quickly coming into Skiathos for our landing. So brace yourselves. We're at flaps 10 now, and that was 210 knots, so next will be 200, then 190, then 175. So we can get the next set of flaps on, so that's 200. And we'll leave the rest. We could go down even more, but we're not really at that point in the flight. So I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to get out of standard air pressure and set 10,008 as the air pressure. Yeah, and I'm going to put missed approach 3,000 feet. I'm going to put the approach mode on, do our lock. And I'll put the approach mode on in a moment. Yeah. See, that's Skiathos runway there. That's the runway we're landing into. Yeah. Let's get down. Yeah, I'm not really sure why these warnings are here because we've got more than enough fuel. So, whether that's a bug, I don't know. But we've got no failures, so, yeah. We're going to get from standard to 10,008. And we're starting our turn into the glide slope, so we're going to put approach mode on now. as we get our descent down, as we're on our glide path to Skiathos. Speed brake can come to max, and we can get down to Skiathos. Jesus. Some speed brakes here. And 194 is the heading today. So we'll just get that set. 194. Yeah. God. What's going on? Seems as if our autopilot has gone bonkers. I guess we're going to fly this in manually. Not what I expected. You know, it's all fine. All fine. Approach mode. Well, somebody. Fine, no, we're not even going to do that. It's just going to mess it up, isn't it? So might as well just follow the flight directors and manually fly this, as well as I'll mess it up. Some nice ray marching going on there, reflections. Nevertheless, need to get that landing gear down. What was the missed approach speed? Not speed, thingy. 4,000. That was 4, not thingy. Flaps can come back down. 25 set. Missed approach altitude is set there. I can head it down. Autopilot is back on, by the way. As you can see there. We need to arm our spoilers, mind, for landing. See there, trying to get the right views. There we are, that's a good view into Skiathos. Get a nice shot there. There we are. We can get the flaps down to 30 now. That's flaps 30 set. Ready to land. Skiathos, here we come. There's the runway. We are too low, but autopilot decided to mess up, so we're suffering because of that. Throttle's mine. Put it to idle whilst we head down because we are too high with 4 reds on the old thingy there. Still too high. No, we're not. Get a bit of speed up then. Now we are. Now we can get this down first time. Getting too high. Fix that. Idle. Coming in. I'm not looking for a smooth landing. I'm looking for a precision landing. 340 foot per minute, I'll take it. Let's get down. Right, let's do it. Auto brake off. We'll vacate here. Welcome to Skiathos in Greece. Certainly should have had a bit more attention to the plane, but there was just such good wing views. I couldn't take my eyes off the wing views. Should have been in the cockpit a bit more there though. So we'll get the APU started up. Yeah. Well, good. Get there. Get the taxi lights on. Yeah. I think we'll just park up over here because this is it's more suitable over there. This is more for GA aircraft, I think. So we'll just get that over there. Of course, we have the flaps still set, so I'll just get those retracted real quick. There we are. It's a nice and quick landing with the max auto brake on. Which is what you want in Skiathos. It's not the longest of runways. And like all Orbex airports, you've got the 2 static aircraft here. A Chewy 767 and a Jet 2 A321, I think it is. Or is it a 737? It's a 737, sorry. I don't know why I thought it was an A321, but I did. So that's that. Well, for some reason the spoilers aren't armed. That won't help. Here we go. So we'll park on this one here. Well, unless there's one further up. Yeah, there's one further up. I'll go to one of them. Go to this one here, I think. There's no GSX, don't own it, so we're just going to manually park ourselves in to Skiathos today. An hour and 17 minutes on the flight time there, from taxi to the gate. Well, almost to the gate. And yeah, that was a pretty awesome flight. Didn't have to go around, so I'll take it. And 340 foot per minute, considering the autopilot messed up at the very end, I think that is very good. Very well done, personally. Get lined up. That'll do. Get the APU on. Get engine number 1 off. Get engine number 2 off. Parking brake is set. And yeah. Welcome to Skiathos. Turn those off. Turn those off. Don't have to arm those anymore. Fuel pumps can come off. Hydraulics can come off. Window heats can come off. Engine packs can come off. APU bleed can come back on. These can come off. These can come off. Off, off, off. Close flight. Or new sky. It's not raining down here, is it? No. Your damper can come off. And yeah. Window heats can come off. Probe heats can come off, I mean. We can reset that back to 0. And yeah. Welcome down. Welcome down. We'll get the deboarding process initiated. We'll get the chocks on. Should have done that before. Ground power request. Stairs for this airport. So we'll get stairs 1, stairs 2. Pax bus, cabin cling, forward galley, AFT galley. And that's good. Cool. Get the baggage. And yeah. We can use ground power since we have that service available to us. We can just turn the APU off now, I guess. Off even. It's quite hard to do it in that view. APU off. There we go. APU bleed can come off as well then. Once you have ground power connected to the aircraft. Like so. So that is the flight Istanbul to Skiathos. Hopefully that was an enjoyable flight to watch. And let's get deboarded. Nice evening, didn't have to do it in the dark, got some decent enough scenery. Nice wing views. Some aircraft parked at the airport gates. So, what more can you ask for? There we are. The aircraft is there. Very nice plane. With the custom PMDG cabin services. Since GSX I do not own, as I said for the millionth time. Don't have any real passengers. GSX does give you that though. But I want to get GSX, just haven't gotten to it yet. I'm just thinking really. Forgot to mention our registration for today's flight was TCJHR, which is a realistic 2016 I believe Turkish Airlines 737-800 plane registration, which I'm sure is cool to know. Feel like someone's coming in. Don't know whether that's just wind or something though. But yeah. I do think I'm happy I got this variant of the 737, simply because it's the longest variant. Well, it's not the longest. What am I on about? We've got the 900. It's not too big. It's not too small. It's used by a lot of European airlines. It's used by US airlines. It's used by Asian airlines. It's used by Australian airlines. You know, you can just use it anywhere in the world. Whereas if you got the 700 or the 600 or the 900, you'd be limited on realism. I'm not saying you couldn't fly them, just realism. Because really in the US they fly the 700 the most, but they also fly the 800 a lot. So that's why I got this one. US and Europe are the most flied for me, so that's what I do. Yeah. Let's have a look. F actions, payload, ground services. Start. The deboarding, I should say, has started. Should have done that ages ago, but too chatting away. Yeah. Cool that this aircraft has an inbuilt interior. That's made by the creator of the livery, not the aircraft, by the way. The creator of the aircraft made the cabin, but the creator of the livery made the colour scheme, which is cool. Yeah, it's a very nice. This is payware scenery as well. Not free, unfortunately, like Istanbul. It is payware. But it's really nice scenery. I got it on the sale. That's why I got it. That's the only reason I ever get anything on Flight Sim. It's on sale. Unless it's really good like GSX, which I might just go bite the bullet and get, because that's rarely on sale, and it's just such a good add-on. Especially for the Phoenix, when you don't have all these custom ground surfaces. PMG's alright, but you don't get passengers, but at least you get the custom ground surfaces. Whereas Phoenix, you only really get the stairs, and that's about it. You don't get the catering or anything. But yeah, it's cool. It's all cool. It's all good. Yeah. It was a nice flight nevertheless. At the end of the day, we didn't put an absolute hard landing into it, did we? It was 350 odd foot per minute, not smooth, but also you've got to think about it, Skiathos. You want to just land as soon as possible. You don't want to be thinking about precision of smoothness like you could at Heathrow or Gatwick or somewhere. Yeah. Even Turkey you could do a precision, because that's an ILS, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I would do this return flight live, but I'm not sure if I'll have time, so I probably won't do that live. Simply because I might have to cut it out, and that won't be very enjoyable. But nevertheless, we did one leg. Yeah. And God, Istanbul, considering that's freeware, it's really good. Really, really good. Absolutely no problems with that. Absolutely no problems with that at all. A nice screenshot. Could do with turning off the thing. I only have the compass for VATSIM when it needs to be told face northwest and that, because it's just an easy compass to understand, isn't it? User experience. Instruments, heads up display. Off. F11. There we go. It's all gone now. Trying to get a nice shot lined up. Nice shot. That'll do. That'll do me anyways. That'll do me very well. I'm glad we did get here when we did. Well, it's been a dark landing, not much to see. It was nice. Bit of a strange landing, won't lie, but you know, we got it down nevertheless. That's what I'm keeping on saying. We got it down. That's all that matters, is we got it down. It wasn't an absolute hard landing. It was just enough to get us down and stopped. It was just, yeah, it was just a nice landing, a good landing. You know, blabbering on I am, blabbering on. Anyways, let's just get some more shots. Yeah, hopefully everyone has enjoyed it. Get everything powered down. And yeah, that is flight complete. I do fly on New Sky, for anyone who wants to know that is. I'm just flying on New Sky Academy for now. Now I'll probably join Osprey Airways. British Avageek's channel. Great channel. Join his company and then fly for him on New Sky. I also fly in Volanta as well for my own personal tracking. lots I track on. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys.